Welcome to Greenwood High School. Is already in progress. Abbeville led off with a hit to right field. Jackson Aldrich, I believe, and just had a witnessed a sack bunt to move him over to second. Got one out now. So I do not have a lineup card, so I do not know who is up to bat. But we will continue. Caden Poor on the mound for Greenwood. So got a foul ball for a strike. Got Elijah Tiller behind the plate. Pat Wood at third. Ryan Stone looks to be at short. Andrew Driver at second. And Landon Steele at first. We got, I am not sure who all's in the outfield. TJ in right. Possibly Jaden in center and maybe Reed Guy in left. We got a ball outside. Beautiful night. Starting the season. He looks in. He went for it. Did not bite, though. Brings it to 2-2 with one out. Runner on second. As Cade hits him with the breaking pitch. That will bring up fourth batter of the inning here. Puts a runner on first and second. Crowd still coming in. Got a Jim Steele finally showed up to the game here.
Y'all started early.
Oh, we were supposed to start at 5.
5:30.
5:30, okay. So we got a ball here on that pitch. Got another square around. 2-0 count now. Just getting things going here for the season. Brings a strike in there. I hear Abbeville's kind of down right now on players. Just telling me, rattling off 3 or 4 names of kids that wasn't going to be able to play.
Today?
Yeah.
Today's scrimmage? A little bit
Another
like
foul ball.
You got to be careful with Abbeville. They downplay it all the time. We don't have this, we don't have that, and you just go out and win. And that's a testament to them. That's not a knock on them. It's just who they are.
Yeah.
They win. They get a bunch of dudes that just want to go compete.
Get a deep fly ball to center. Jaden Adams makes his way back in toward the infield there. Out number 2. Two outs now, run on first and second. Still early. Just getting started. Top of the first inning. What is your name? Jake Clemens. Up here videoing for Abbeville. Anybody out there knows him. You're in the Jackson friends? Okay. We know Jackson. It's Jim Hill still over here. If anybody's out there and they want to chime in here, Jim's got the chat going.
We'll do the best we can, TJ. Always good to have some discussion during these broadcasts.
I know we got one ball. I'm not sure. The other two were strikes. Yeah. So we got a 1-2 count now. 2 outs, runner on first and second. Strike 3. The backwards K. We will come back in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break. How to do the score. Yeah.
Welcome back into the ballpark. Glad you're with us. We're just testing out our new equipment for this season. TJ Avery and Jim still along with you for the ride. Despite all the bad weather here of late, TJ, we got a workable day today. The weather's nice and the temperatures are very, very nice, as hovering up towards 70 degrees in the Emerald City.
Yes, sir. And it's a perfect night. I'm glad they moved this thing up, or we'd be fighting some wet weather on Friday. But looks good. Hope you hope the view looks good considering where we are today. We're going to move it down closer to the field once we get the little deck built, and we'll get a little better, clearer view. But looks to be pretty good from our computer screen.
Getting some viewers trickling in. Give us your feedback in the chat box if you could. And as TJ mentioned, we are planning to move a little bit closer to the field for this season. We got the good folks at the G. Frank Russell Technology Center working on a little platform deck for us downstairs, and just wanted to give everyone the opportunity that follows Greenwood baseball a chance to really keep up with the Eagles by our streaming service this year on YouTube. Tell a friend, and trying to get the message out there. So again, this is just the opening scrimmage for the Eagles as the Abbeville Panthers have made their way down to Greenwood. They put up a hit, no runs in the top of the first. Greenwood up the bat, Landon still wearing that familiar number 1 of his brother, steps in. Sophomore lefty awaits his first pitch, swung on and missed on a fastball. Who's this young man for Abbeville, the pitcher? Hunter Overholt. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, lifted up. Behind third base, shortstop comes over. He's got a beat on it. He collects it for out number 1. This is a familiar name coming up for the Eagles. Senior, it's hard to say that, man. He seems like he's been in the program for a while. Senior TJ Aiken.
Yeah, man. 6th year. All these seniors, this is their 6th year of getting out here, man.
Looks like he's added some weight, some good weight. He lifts the first ball he sees out toward the left. Left fielder collects it easily for out number 2. So 2 weak fly balls to start the scrimmage for the Eagles. Got an Overholt on the mound for the Panthers, I understand.
Got 2 quick early outs. Did a good job. Got to hit the ball this year if you're going to win some ball games.
Yeah, we'll talk about this year's version of the Greenwood Eagles as we go through the scrimmage today. I think most people expect a lot of offense from this team as Elijah Tiller steps in, another senior. He watches a fastball for strike 1. Next ball is hit out toward left center, bounces off the base of the fence. Can he get to second? I don't think so. Nice job by the center fielder. He collected it at the base of the fence. or Elijah thinking too out of the box. Realized he was in trouble about halfway down the second there. And those are little things you'll get ironed out as the season progresses. So the Eagles go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first. We'll come back, talk some more Greenwood baseball as this scrimmage with the Abbeville Panthers continue. Back on the campus of Greenwood High School, we played into the second inning. Of course, being a scrimmage, both coaches trying a lot of different things and playing a lot of different players. So we're not necessarily so caught up in the score. We just wanted to get our scratch in for Greenwood baseball. So Caden Poore will start his second inning of work. He did pitch the first inning, a scoreless inning for the Eagles. And we're not sure where they are in the lineup.
Yeah, they played this one kind of just like you would a scrimmage. Not a lot, no lineups I've seen or anything.
Caden Poore, the junior, rocks and fires downstairs for ball 1. Caden's a young man. He's in a little growth spurt. About, 6'1"? Weak ground ball back to him. Toss over to Evan Avery over at first this inning for the 1-3 put out.
See a little change in the lineup I see now is Pat Wood moved to short, Ryan moved to third, Evan Avery at first. Looks like John Aiden behind the plate. TJ's at center now. I'm not sure who we got in the outfield. A couple of different people.
Is that Reed in left, or did they move Landon out there? It's hard to tell.
That could be Landon. That was tall.
And then in right, Jaden Adams in right, possibly. First pitch misses, ball 1. This one's grounded toward third. Nice play by Ryan Stone. Easy 5-3 put out for a quick second out as we play in the top of the second. Good to see the fans back at the ballpark.
Yes, sir. It's good. I think we're getting spoiled today, Jim, because we know the weather during baseball season ain't this good.
Seems like we get some dicey weather, indeed, to start the season. Nice curveball by Poore for strike 1. This will probably be his last inning of work. normally you want to throw maybe your projected starters an inning or two and then get some other guys some work as well. And
I believe Evan told me it's a 9-inning game, so I'm not sure.
next pitch is a strike. I think the count's 2-2 here. We're shaking off some rust as well as we're getting back in the saddle and podcasting. This ball's grounded up the middle. Nice play by Patrick Wood. The senior throws across to Evan Avery for out number 3. Played an inning and a half of this scrimmage today. Still no score from Greenwood High School. Back at the ballpark, Evan Avery steps in, the big senior first baseman. First pitch he sees down. We'll talk a little bit about this 23 version of the Greenwood Eagles as we go through the scrimmage. A lot is expected offensively. We mentioned that, TJ, as we await the 1-0 pitch. This one swung on and drilled into left, right in front of the left fielder for a solid leadoff single to start the bottom of the second. And kind of right on cue there, TJ. I think the general prevailing thought is this team's going to put up a lot of runs. I think the question marks center around the pitching staff.
Yeah, it does. And which Caden looked pretty good just now, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of settled in, but this is just pick up. So a lot of the guys that batted in the first inning, those 3 guys are, dust off. So I'm sure by the time this game's over, we'll see, some good hard swings.
Patrick Wood steps in, the senior shortstop this year. Watches a ball. I think the first one was the first pitch a strike. So 1-1 count on Patrick Wood. Saw Patrick play a lot of Legion ball this summer. Just a gritty, grindy baseball player. Avery takes his lead. Nice curveball, buckled Woods that time. Started at Patrick and then broke on the inner half of the plate. So the count goes 1-2.
You back that up with a high outside fastball, you're going to have a good night.
Avery takes his lead off first. The pitch. Same pitch. This time Patrick stays in. Goes deep to left center. Looks up. It's out of here. So Patrick, the quick learner there, on the previous pitch, the curveball that was on the inner half of the plate, that time Overholt came back with a similar pitch, but left it a little too much over the plate, and Patrick Wood made him pay, and the Eagles scored their first runs of the scrimmage. They lead 2-0 by virtue of a 2-run home run by Patrick Wood. Should see a lot of balls hit out of the park this year. I know you've been at some of the practices, as I have as well, and it's no secret we play on a small field here at Greenwood High School, and they're knocking them out pretty consistently in batting practice.
And Pat Wood, we can't say enough. Me and Coach Baker and Evan and some of the guys have talked about his progress. The kid looks good, been in the weight room, and he hit that ball out easily.
This brings up a sophomore who got a lot of playing time last year as a freshman, Jaden Adams. Jaden ventured over to the football field this year, played for the JV Eagles. Swings and misses at the first pitch, watches ball outside to even the count 1-1. This is a kid with a lot of potential as well. He has plus speed, plus bat. Really should be a good player by the time he hits the upperclassman role.
Good job sitting on that curveball there. We know that thing's been a good pitch.
Yeah, that one seems to have a lot of bite to it, and Adams was able to foul it off. Count does run to 1-2 on this Wednesday afternoon scrimmage with the Abbeville Panthers. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs, tried to get Adams to chase.
That's what I was saying just a minute ago. You break that curveball the way he's been doing inside, and you get some swing and misses on that pitch. That one was just a little too high.
Yeah, that's a good complimentary pitch to that curveball, indeed. Here's the next pitch. Bounces up to the plate. So good at bat by Jaden Adams, and you like to see that from the young guys, battling deep in the count, forcing the pitcher to throw a lot of pitches and drive those pitch counts up. It's going to be a big part of what the Eagles need to do this season. Here's the payoff. Upstairs, ball 4. So the youngster did his job. You're exactly right. A leadoff single by Evan Avery, followed by a 2-run blast by Patrick Wood. Now a walk. And it'll bring up, we're trying to see his number here. Caden Poor. I think it is. It looks like Caden.
So these Abbeville guys, Jim, they gotta click on and off every pitch. That's the way the coach wants their video.
Next pitch fouled off into the backstop by Poor. Talk a little bit about Caden. Caden's one of those kids that really were looking to get a lot of production from his arm. I don't think necessarily his bat, although he can swing the stick a little bit.
Him and Evan hit back-to-back home runs in Junior Legion this year. So, I mean, he can hit it out.
He's going to be a kid that will be dependent on pretty heavily in the rotation. He'll probably be a starter. Next pitch he watches upstairs. And like you said, he can swing a good bat as well. It's good to see him getting some opportunities.
Another kid that's been playing high-level travel ball for a long time. So he's got a lot of good experience.
Good time that time by Caden, staying off the high fastball. Run on first, no outs. Greenwood already played a 2 here as we play in the bottom of the second. Two on a pitch awaits Caden Poor. Misses outside and away. So Overholt had a productive, easy first inning by inducing some lazy fly balls.
What's considered to be the heavy hitters too.
I think really what you'll see from this Eagles lineup as Poor swings and misses is you got guys really all up and down that lineup who can swing the bat, and on any given night is able to really hit with some pop.
I was talking this week, and I believe we have, we can put a lineup together with 9 batters that can hit it out.
Ground ball to the shortstop induces a force out at second. So the 6-4 put out is the first out on the fielder's choice to start the bottom of the second.
Put the ball in play. That's what we want to see. You're going to see some outs, but we don't really want to see them taking pitches right now in the scrimmage early in the season, trying to get the feel of gameplay. So they'll work out of that. So it's like
John Aiden Helms. little bit of a utility guy. Nice to have him. You got two very capable catchers on the roster,
Happen to be seniors, so
and they both, yeah, I mean, they both happen to be seniors. But John Aiden's came up in some big spots, and he's got a lot of experience. Came up last year and some big moments for the Eagles and produced. And he sends a foul ball out past the first baseline, and he'll be a kid that he'll have plenty of opportunities this year. And they'll probably give Elijah a lot of nights off, behind the plate. Good eye by John Aiden that time.
And Elijah's at this point in his career has needed them games off. He's plays a lot and has all his life and swings a very stressful bat. Throwing behind the plate all he needs some rest.
Poor takes his lead off first. He hit into a fielder's choice. Off-speed curveball just missed outside to John Aiden, so that runs the count to 3-1. One away, 2-0 Greenwood. In what is the first full scrimmage of the season for both teams, I believe. Abbeville, of course, everyone knows they've been very competitive in their region and has really had a plethora of talent run through that town in the last few decades.
In all their life.
And, of course, the legend Mark Smith, who's no longer there, and Coach Little is at the helm now, but he's a legend in the state, and he has some really good teams as John Aiden Helms draws a walk. So the Eagles still in business here with only one away. We play in the bottom of the second. They'll bring up, this is Reed Guy, I believe. Reed Guy, number 13. They a lot of them kept their old numbers, but some of them have changed. Landon came home the other night. He was happy. He got his brother's old number. So he was excited. Runners take their leads. Pitch to the plate. Upstairs. Man, it feels good out here, TJ. And you're right. Smart moving it. This scrimmage that was originally scheduled for Friday to tonight because of the weather, impending weather. Next pitch is outside for ball 2. Many of you know my oldest son, Lowndes, still plays at Lander, and they're supposed to have a home series this weekend. And I was talking to him this afternoon, and they may make a call, TJ, if the weather holds like is forecasted. They may have to travel up to Lincoln Memorial, which is up in Tennessee. Next pitch is a strike.
Jim, you can't do nothing with that pitch in that count because he's been throwing that curveball that bites from that spot in, and you don't really know what's coming.
That's a pitch you don't want to swing at with a 2-0 count. Now it's 2-1, and you still got an opportunity as a hitter to be in charge of this pitch sequence. Rudder takes their leads. Next pitch, guy that's hung in there on that curveball. Yep, he's seen that pitch before, and he's continuing his trend of finding a way to get on base.
This is exactly. I don't know how many times he got hit last year, but he got on base a lot.
If you kept up with Greenwood baseball last season, Reed Guy, who is a senior, I guess he led us in walks. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Stone. Watches strike 1. He didn't like it. He thought it was upstairs. What were you saying? You got a message from Garrett Hodges or
Al? Sent me some videos to post on the page. But so Garrett was on the mound today. Had 8 Ks and 2 hits.
Garrett, the former Eagle, now at Spartanburg Methodist, as Ryan Stone watches strike 2. Done well up there. Hit was it the 95 club or was it 90? I can't remember which one it was, but no, he's got some interest from Clemson now. Here's the 0-2 pitch upstairs.
It's a tough take with 2 strikes.
Runners at first and second, 1 away. Eagles have played it 2 off a 2-run home run to left center field by Patrick Wood. as we are practicing our new format, streaming on YouTube. Curveball upstairs. Got to remember, we don't have to talk as much because the people can see it now. We don't have to paint the scene as well.
And we'll slowly progress with what we got going on here. As Ryan pops one up here. Looks like Shallow Center's coming to get it. It's out number 2.
Out number 2 here in the second, and well, they do like a minimum, like they do 7 batters, I think. So the teams will in and out, and we'll do the same. We'll take a break. We play 2 from Greenwood High School with your score: Greenwood 2, Abbeville 0. Back at Greenwood High School, we work our way into the 3rd inning. Senior Andrew Driver comes in to get a few innings of work, and boy, Andrew found himself in some huge spots last year for the Eagles. One I can remember was in the playoffs. He got rolled out there for, was it AC Flora? When we went down to AC Flora to play, and he has really grown. Been fun to watch him, and he can be very effective with the submarine style if he keeps the ball low. And he pitched well for the senior Legion team this summer.
He grew a lot in the later half last year into the playoffs, and Legion helped a lot.
Starts the first batter he sees with a swing and miss. This ball's got a little run away from the lefties. Here's the 0-1. Same pitch, same result. 0-2 is your count.
Wouldn't you like to be, I don't know who this kid is, but let's just say this is his first time batting on varsity squad. He faces Andrew Driver with that crazy delivery.
And on 3 pitches, Andrew Driver picks up a strikeout. As we mentioned earlier, Greenwood constantly shuffling their defense in this scrimmage. Now you got Patrick Wood at 3rd. Looks like Ryan Stone at short. Looks like Caden Poor maybe at 2nd. Landon Steele over at 1st again. Andrew Driver on the mound. And I think that's John Aiden behind the plate. Is that Elijah? Okay. Elijah. And hard for us to see the outfield.
Maybe Bennett.
Next pitch handcuffs the batter. Good job. Andrew fills his position. Takes his time, gets the 1-3 put out. Big second out. 2-0 Greenwood. And the importance of a pitcher being able to fill their position is huge.
Yeah. And that ball had a little knuckle to it. A little sideways spin is kind of cuffed Andrew. But wow, what a difference it makes when you know how to field your position as a pitcher.
It's the first pitch to the next batter is inside, and you're exactly right. You'll see it throughout the course of the season numerous times where big plays will be determined by right out in front of the plate, and it'll be a pitcher making the correct read on a bunt and being able to really get there and have that internal clock as Driver nails the outside corner. And really play with confidence. And Andrew's a guy who's been around, and he should be one of those dudes for Greenwood High this year.
I believe he will. We're going to need him.
You're exactly right. Misses outside that time. I believe the count's 2-1.
If you score 9 runs a game and you give up 10, don't really matter. So.
Doesn't really matter, does it? Here's the next pitch. Call strike 2-2. Yeah, that's the thing. I guess from an offensive guy, you really like hitting in this park, but as a pitcher, it's not the best ballpark for your ERA.
Not much wind or anything out here tonight, so the balls, I believe, will be hit hard and go far. It seems, but just a few pop ups, other than Pat's home run to show for it yet. But I think when we turn the lineup over again, just as Abbeville's turned it over right now, we'll see a little different.
Nice off-speed pitch that time by Andrew Driver. Comes set and delivers. This one's grounded right over Driver's head. Should be a play for Ryan Stone as he comes across. Makes a nice play at the bag at second to complete the putout. 6-3 to end the top of the third for the Panthers. We played 2.5 from Greenwood High School. Your score, Greenwood 2, Abbeville 0. Back at the friendly confines of the Greenwood baseball press box. And TJ and I, we were just talking, man. Please give us your feedback, Chris. We appreciate your feedback. And we're going to add some nice little bells and whistles here. We're going to put a scoreboard up in the corner of the video, so you'll be able to keep up with the score during the game and the inning and all that good stuff. Maybe even the ball and pitch count. Hopefully, we'll see. But we're just really excited for the opportunity to stream these games for you. And man, we start the season down in Georgetown. We'll get to that in just a moment. As the case, yeah, most of these scrimmages they bat a ton of guys. As Andrew Driver steps in, watches ball one. Looks like a new pitcher for the Panthers. Jude Dallas. Dowis. Okay. Dowis. The righty for the Panthers. He misses low and away. So the count goes to 2-0 on the first batter here in the bottom of the third, as the sun begins to set in Greenwood. Next pitch is downstairs, so 3-0 count. We mentioned Lowndes playing at Lander. Got a couple of former Panthers playing for the Bearcats as well. As next pitch misses outside, so a leadoff walk. But you have Matthew Ellis. Matthew Ellis played at Abbeville, and then Tyler Overholt just transferred from College of Charleston and pitched well in his few innings of work over the weekend. This is Bennett Erickson, the righty, steps in. Oh, got Andrew napping, and
I was suspecting a pinch runner, Jim. I just said that, but nobody come out there, and Andrew was not paying attention.
Kind of caught him in la-la land, and that's something that you will work through those things in these scrimmages. That's why you play these things. But man, caught him flat-footed over there as Erickson watches ball one.
5 balls in a row. Should have got picked off there.
Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed by Erickson. Erickson got really good speed. His opportunities really at the varsity level has been limited so far, but he's a junior. strong kid. You're exactly right.
Very lean, athletic.
Next pitch, he fouls it off. But yeah, just a good looking athlete and another one of those promising young players for the Eagles that they have in their farm system. A lot of kids out, when you go back to the C team and JV team, next one swung on and missed, and that's a strikeout for Bennett Erickson. But back to the top, Landon Steele stepping in. Landon got called up last season about midway point. Played pretty good for the Eagles down the stretch, and he's a year older as a sophomore. Gained about 12 pounds in the weight room. You still can't get him to eat the right foods, though, TJ. So he watches a curveball low. He'll be alternating really between, sometime at first and probably in the outfield this year as he does have pretty good speed.
A lot of options this year, Jim. As long as these kids can hit, it's going to be a tough job on the coach this year to get them all in the lineup, So we'll see. Hopefully that's a problem we have. I wouldn't mind it at all.
That's a good problem to have as the count evens at 1-1. Next pitch hits his foot. Landon's had a time with his feet here of late. As he gingerly jogs it off. You see him down that first base line and give him a second here. That one probably hurt, probably got in the soft tissue of the foot there on the side.
We always give them grief. That was an off-speed pitcher. That didn't hardly hit you. They get home, they got these big red and big purple and blue whelps on them. I guess it did hurt.
You got to get your head on a swivel if you're at first with this man coming up. This is TJ Aiken, the Old Dominion commit. He flied out to left field his first at bat. His pitcher's got a nice little quick move to first just to keep you honest. Little snap throw over. Still takes his lead. He's gone. Curveball's in the dirt. Steals up easily. So was he sandbagging over there at first, acting like his foot was hurt?
My next comment in between this, what you were talking about was going to be, we just talked about Abbeville and not having players, and you were like, what you said earlier, I was like, Landon Steele's probably just over there baiting somebody and not throwing over on him.
He's getting pretty healthy lead as TJ watches ball 2.
Coaching the DP this fall, like Landon, I was telling somebody this week, Landon's a kid that I could just like tip my cap to, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. Like he's usually a very good base runner.
I tell you, it'll be so important to get some production out of that leadoff spot. So teams will have to pitch to this guy more, as opposed to pitching around him a little bit. But
we were at the Lander game Friday, Saturday. I can't remember when it was, but they intentionally walked that guy, and the next 2 guys like mashed the ball. And I was like, that's what you're saying. That's what's kind of happened. So these guys can get at bats and not get pitched around.
Next pitch is downstairs to TJ, and this may happen a lot though, with depending on who's in that leadoff spot. I don't think any of these spots been nailed down, other than maybe 2 and 3. But if you get a kid that can swipe second and leave first base open, you're going to see a lot of teams pitch around or pitch carefully to TJ.
Yeah, and you got back-to-back lefties. And Pat Wood's a guy you may see sneaking on up into the lineup. He keeps hitting well.
All right, this is a scenario we hope we see a lot this year. All right, you get your leadoff on, you get your 2 guy on, and here's a big bat. I mean, really big bat, especially in this park. And what you all know what I mean by that. This park really is not big enough to hold Elijah consistently as He was one of the state leaders in home runs last season. Watches a curveball that misses inside and can do a lot of things, a lot of damage here. And then I think one of the big differences in this year's lineup and last year's lineup, you had good productivity last year at the top, and it's nothing against these guys, but they just didn't see that productivity at the bottom of the lineup. And they were juniors who hadn't had a ton of experience playing varsity. And this year they're seniors who have a season of experience underneath their belt. And I think that's going to pay dividends offensively for Greenwood this season.
3 region games versus everybody too is going to be tough because there's no letdown in between a region game where you can kind of take it easy and give somebody some rest. So you got to coach it a little bit more. You got to have the best guys doing the best stuff in the lineup more often this year.
And man, this is what you want. You want the pitcher stressing out on base runners with the dangerous hitter in the box, and one mistake and he's going to make it hurt. But that time a good pitch by Dallas in at the knees for strike one. So the count's 2-1, 2-0 Greenwood, bottom of the third. It's just a scrimmage, folks, but we always keep score. Runners take their leads. Here's the pitch. Elijah squibs that one off. He was a little impatient there.
His swing represented the ball before it broke, and he hit it after it broke. So we'll see what he can do right here. 2 strikes.
No outs, runners at first and second. Here's the 2-2. Upstairs, ball 3.
What a pressure situation for a pitcher. I don't know if he knows Elijah, but knowing what he can do, what do you throw here?
Yeah, I don't, I think with a scrimmage, you want to see your pitcher really battle here. Don't surrender. Don't give in to the big guy. If he hits it out, he hits it out. You learn from it.
Yeah. What a big momentum for your team, though, if you get this guy out right here.
We talk about some of the teams Greenwood may play in region as Tiller draws a walk, as bases will now be loaded. Young man you're familiar with, Evan Avery, steps up. Good to see Evan. We were talking this time last year, there's a strong possibility Evan might. He had the coursework and the credits to go ahead and graduate early, but I think he missed it. I think the deep playoff run kind of whet the appetite a little bit, and good to see him back out here.
Oh,
just missed that one as he got underneath it and right over the top of the press box. So 0-1 count to the big righty.
Glad it went behind the press box and not out center field pop up.
0-1 pitch from Dallas here. Here it is. This one's fouled off. Nice little curveball there, and Avery finds himself in a hole. 0-2.
Must be out of baseballs.
First scrimmage of the year from Greenwood High School, the Abbeville Panthers. It's been very successful over the years. Have a very proud baseball pro. Everybody knows them for football, but they play some good baseball over in Abbeville, have some good players.
Champs this year.
They won their region last year, correct?
No, I'm talking about football.
Oh, yeah, football. Just another ho-hum state championship. Oceanside Collegiate. The 0-2 pitch, good job by Evan that time, laying off a sinking curveball.
That was good to see him lay off. It's just kind of told me that he's not anxious. He's looking for a good pitch.
Here's the 1-2 offering as Avery waits patiently in the box. Here it is. Downstairs, 2-2. Ken Baker said, great view. We appreciate it. We hope it gets better. The plan is to get you closer, and I think we're still going to cut out some of the backstop and make it a little bit viewer friendly for you. Right now it's a chain link fence. This one's an off speed, gets away from the catcher, still breaks home. He'll score easily, and that'll make it 3-0 Greenwood as all the runners advance up 90 feet. Aikens now at third. And you have a pinch runner for Elijah Tiller. I don't think that's Elijah at second, is it? Is it Bennett Erickson?
This is a big bat. This is a telltale of what we need out of this season right here.
Wow, good eye. Good eye by Evan as
So it may have been high.
He induces a walk, so the bases are still juiced when we do play a 7-batter limit, I do believe, in scrimmage. And Greenwood's getting close as, let's see, Landon led off. Did Landon lead off? Or no, it was, I think we were at the bottom.
We got 2 outs. He's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7.
Patrick Wood steps in. He hit a home run his first at bat. He's 1 for 1, 2-run homer. Takes a strike on the first pitch he sees from Dallas. We apologize. We don't have a roster for Abbeville, but we got a nice gentleman, young man beside us helping us out as Patrick Wood falls behind 0-2 in his second at bat.
Sit tight with the enemy up here, Jim.
Oh, man, he's a good kid. He's not the enemy. The enemy comes in the form of Patrick. Hits one out towards center. Doesn't quite get enough, but will the center fielder get it? He does not. Drops in front of him. 1 run scores. 2 runs scores. Patrick goes sliding head first into second. He's safe. While that's going on, Evan Avery comes around third to score the 3rd run. So a bases clearing double due to the center fielder playing deep there. And that would be the last batter of the 3rd inning for the Eagles. And it was a big one as Patrick Wood now has 5 RBIs. And Greenwood leads Abbeville 5-0 after 3. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with you. Thanks for joining us on the Greenwood Eagle Baseball channel. Back at Greenwood High School, first scrimmage of the season. We're working through some new technology for you. Please let us know what you think about it. And tell a friend we will not be on Mixler this year. We have transitioned over exclusively to YouTube. So if you know anyone who, and we had a lot of listeners on Mixler, man. I can't tell you, the number of times we walking through the stands and people would thank us for broadcasting the game. And, it's pretty cool. And we want to make sure they know to venture over to YouTube so they can catch all the action of Greenwood baseball this season. It should be an exciting season. Of course, we're starting with the scrimmage tonight, but Greenwood's schedule is really loaded this year, and we kick it off for real in a few weeks down at the IP Classic down in Georgetown.
Should be fun, Jim. I don't know that we're going to get to sit out in the stands like we did last year. I don't know if we're going to video from backwards into the home plate or what we're going to do.
We'll have to do better.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure something out. But, yeah, that was the spot to be. Felt like what was the Cleveland Indians in that movie where they had the big bass drum out in center field.
Yeah, we could give them the center field view.
Got a good play. Pulled Evan off the bag there. It was Orion. Good job by Evan even holding on to that ball. But if he was 6'3", instead of 6 foot, he would have been out. So
You can tell our listeners also they can, once you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you have added the link to Greenwood's schedule. So all you need to do is click on that link and you can pull up Greenwood High School's baseball schedule for this season. It's the varsity schedule.
yeah, if you go, I don't think you can see it on the phone, but if you're on your desktop and you look at the YouTube page, a little links up on the banner, the header of the page in the right-hand corner that will click you to the Greenwood Athletic website which has this year's schedule. So, and I'm gonna try and figure out how to get a link to the purchase tickets on there. Oh, we got a pick off over at first, Jim.
Nice play.
Andrew
nice job.
Driver.
Second pickoff we've seen tonight, one for each team.
Yeah, and so we'll try to make the YouTube page as friendly as possible to everybody, and we'll work our way into all the information we can get onto it and get our little deck built, get a little closer to the field, get rid of some of these posts you see in this video right now.
And we want your feedback, fans. Let us know what you want. We'll do our best to accommodate your wants and needs, and we're trying just to make this as easy and fan friendly as possible, parent friendly, relative, grandma, grandpa friendly.
I didn't hear him. What did he say? 1-1?
We already told you about the scoreboard. We're going to add to the graphic. It's a 1-1 count. Runner picked off here. We play in the top of the fourth. Greenwood leads. Is it 6-0 now? That's right. Landon came around on the wild pitch
And guess
before.
who has all the RBIs in this game?
Yeah, 5 RBIs from Patrick Wood, the senior. Greenwood's got Abbeville tonight, and then next week, scrimmage those Lawrence Raiders. We won't play Lawrence this year, so as nice punch out by Andrew Driver for out number 2.
We do.
We do play Lawrence?
Going over to the far right.
Oh, later in the season. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Got 2 against end of the year after region games.
And let's use this time as an opportunity to tell our listeners it's a new region for Greenwood this year, and we saw it in football, and you'll see it now in baseball. And I think I don't think it's nearly as tough as the next batter swings and misses from a fastball from Andrew Driver. But gone are the Lawrence Raiders as a region foe, and it's nice that we're still playing them. And also gone is the defending state champions, the Eastside Eagles. So we'll talk about some of the teams that we will be playing in just a moment. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just missed outside. So in the region with Greenwood this year, I guess probably the favorite to win the region. And Greenwood's preseason, what are we, 9th, I believe? That's a nice backside single.
Yeah, that's a good hit there. I think Evan told me that.
But Greenville Raiders are still in our region, and they have a good pitching staff. Their strength will be Taylor Abe.
He's an Ole Miss commit.
I believe he is an Ole Miss commit, so they'll be solid. And
he was actually there the day for our visit.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
down at
That's
Ole Miss.
cool. You're talking about
Yeah.
the visit y'all took back in the fall down to Oxford. But in addition to Greenville, it gets a little easier though. You like I just mentioned, no Lawrence, no East Side. Instead, you're playing the likes of Pickens, which is a terrible bus ride. Twice. And then you play West Side. Now Easley's still in our region. They'll be pretty solid. And Berea, that's another backside single. You see this a lot from Abbeville. They play a lot of station-to-station baseball, and they have runners on the corners now with 2 outs as Andrew Driver is giving up a couple of singles. That time they caught the second baseman. Yeah, the second baseman was covering the bag and a little hit and run put on. by the Panthers. So let's see if they can get on the board. Greenwood's put up 6 runs through 3 innings.
If he can get out of this here with 2 outs, it throws over to first.
And the format, we'll get to the formats too. And the formats are different this year. What we've done in the past is played a team home and away. And this season, they're using a 3-game format in the region. So we'll play each region foe 3 times. And we'll just use Greenville as an example. But we got to go to Greenville twice.
Yeah.
And they come to us once. But Westside comes to us twice.
Yeah.
And we only have to go there once. So interesting format.
And Berea, I believe, is 1 home, 1 away doubleheader away, I believe.
It is.
So if you're watching that game, remember there'll be a game back to back.
Yeah, that's one of the earlier games too, about mid-March. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off. As again, the count is, we think it's 0-2. Abbeville has runners on the corners. They trail 6-0. Greenwood with their second pitcher. Caden Poor went 2 innings, and Andrew Driver is completing his second inning of work.
I hadn't even looked to see who warmed up. I don't know who's coming in next.
Here's the pitch. High inside with the fastball.
I suspect you're going to get Pat Wood at some point, maybe Ryan Stone. Not sure who all we got going to throw. I don't think Matt and Luke are here tonight.
Yeah, missing 2 arms that are still playing basketball. Basketball season I think their final regular season game is tomorrow. As that time, Driver runs looks like a fastball into the knuckles of the batter. So that'll load the bases.
That's a good thing because
the ball got away.
Run.
You're exactly right.
So it looks like John Aiden behind the plate this inning. And they've been friends a long time. I'm sure he's out there. I don't know if he was calming him down or telling him he was maybe some few choice words to throw the ball for a strike.
Dude, what are you doing here? We got 2 quick outs, and now look at it. Bases loaded.
Now you get your infield back for the most part to try and get it out.
Don't know who this kid is for Abbeville, but big old kid. Steps in the box, big righty. Here's the first pitch. He squares, pulls back last moment. Instead, takes a strike. Bases full of Panthers. 2 outs. We play in the top of the 4th in the scrimmage tonight from Greenwood High School. We're just kind of testing and playing around with our equipment a little bit. We want your feedback. Use that chat box. Grounded weakly out in front, and Driver comes to home to get the force at home. So nice play. No panic there from Andrew. And the Eagles get out of it. And we'll move our way into the bottom of the 4th. Greenwood still leads 6-0 over the Abbeville Panthers. Back at the ballpark, where would you rather be on a Wednesday night in February? At least we don't have February weather.
That's correct.
Tonight. As the game time temperature or the scrimmage temperature started at about 70 degrees. Greenwood sent their max limit to the plate for the second time in 3 innings in the last inning. And they got 4 runs. New pitcher. That's a new pitcher, isn't it?
Yeah. Thomas Booth.
Thomas Booth. Nice little slider. Look like curveball.
There he is.
Lowndes Still just stepped in the press box. Lowndes, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Got his first career collegiate hit this past weekend.
They gave me an error on that.
No, they gave you a hit.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Box score said
1
a
for
hit.
3.
So you batting 333.
The goal is not dip below 300.
Yeah. Well, you started off right. Just finished it off. This is Jaden, I believe.
Jaden Adams steps up for the Eagles. We talked about him earlier. Kid with a lot of potential. Strong hands. I don't know if a lot of our people really know him, or he's not a really big kid, but he's got strong hands, strong forearms, which a lot of your good hitters do. And
Good IQ kid.
Good IQ,
Like he
yep.
understands. And
watches ball 1. Here's the next pitch. Ball 2.
Jim, I can't, like, you see it. I mean, Lowndes works really hard in off season and weight room all year long, but man, these young guys, like you're talking about, they look small, but God, these guys are strong. They spend a lot of time in the weight room.
I'll say this. I've been around the program, with my, kids for a few years as the next pitch is a ball, but I don't think I've ever seen as many collectively in the weight room as often. And I'm sure they get in up here as Jaden walks on 4 balls, but I'm talking about, the YMCA, and I've been going up there for years, and I just hadn't seen the volume of kids roll through. And now you turn around and there's a Greenwood baseball player in there working out. Seems like every day, or every time I'm there. So it's good to see the buy-ins there. The weight room is a big difference maker for you young players. This is Caden Poor. Gets some at-bats tonight. He watches ball 1. Now, they don't all look like Bennett Erickson, but, they get in there. Or Lowndes Still. But
Bennett's on I don't know, his nutrition level's different.
well, he's got a good combo going on. I think he eats very well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Like, you can go into the weight room and really grind and work out and put in the work. But if you're not complementing that with proper nutrition, as Poor swings and misses, you're really wasting time.
So just on a note, Evan and I have numerous conversations. This is the first year he's actually sat down with me and asked me the questions about what you're talking about.
Runner breaks to second. Hold that thought. Throw down. He's safe. Little hit and run. I think Caden struck out swinging. So 1 out, but the Eagles get a runner in scoring position.
John Aiden up.
Continue your thought.
We sat on opposite ends of the bar at my house and talk. And so now you come in the house and on the counter, there's 3 or 4 different flavors and things of protein powders and all this stuff. Like it became very important. And anybody that's listening, even if you have a child and they're in the program or you're going through Little League, do your research. When it gets to the point of it's time to start lifting weights.
Ball 2 to John Aiden.
That part of it means so much that people don't realize, because kids will go and work really hard and they won't look like the kid beside them, and he's eating what he's supposed to eat, and
he's eating 4,500 calories a day.
Yeah, and all that, man. So I beg you to do your research because it matters.
2-0 count to John Aiden Helms as he watches a strike.
Look at the outside from up here.
But the whole point is the buy-in's gotten much better. And, this mindset of only football players lift is radically different now. And you got to give coaching staff a lot of credit for changing that mindset or those mindsets in these student athletes.
And another credit is the camaraderie of the kids now, because they're willing to help the younger guys or the guys coming up. They mesh really well, so they want to go to the gym and do things together. And they've been leading up to this season. Not only have they been lifting weights, but he takes a strike here, full count, to playing little basketball games, pickup games with half the baseball team out there playing.
Yeah.
It's good team building stuff.
They enjoy each other off the field, and that's important. And as you make the playoffs, and as the ball misses, John Aiden Helms draws a walk. But as you grow your program, you get deeper in the playoffs, you see what these championship teams look like, and you see what they act like, and you have to mimic that, and that's what it takes, to be at a championship level.
Pat's been
And it's
a
a
good
process.
ball player for a while. Pat Wood, I'm speaking of.
Sure.
And your previous, Elijah Tiller comes to the plate, and everyone's like, "Oh, that guy, he's big. He's going to hit a home run." And then TJ produced. But now you got Pat Wood. I called him power hitter Pat Wood last year. He, hitting. You got guys that no longer only look at somebody like Elijah Tiller come up to the plate to do damage. Man, it still leads off. You got Pat, you got Elijah, you got TJ, you got Evan, you got Andrew Driver hitting home runs this week at practice. Jaden Adams hitting home runs. Matt Murray hitting home runs. Luke Godwin hitting hard balls. You got so many kids, and it's all a testament to the hard work.
As speaking of, this is Reed Guy. He's watched 2 balls as we've been
We
talking.
suspect him. We expect him to get on base when he comes up to bat, whether it be a hit, bat, or a walk. I think his on base percentage was pretty high last year, even though his batting average might have not been.
Next pitch is lifted out towards center. Center
Deep
fielder
fly.
appears to have
Good tag. Good
it
base
tracked.
running.
So good job by the base runner at second, tagging up, getting to third, trying to catch a number on that. Who is that at second? We've been Jaden Adams he's got good speed,
Very
as
good
we
base
mentioned.
runner.
So just a long out, but it does advance the runner. And now there's 2 away for Ryan Stone as the cutoff came into second. So no advance from the runner at first. 6-0 Greenwood. So we play in the bottom of the 4th. Greenwood against this young Abbeville team this season. First pitch misses to Ryan Stone just outside.
Thought he was going to give it to him.
Appeared very
Looked like
close.
he was getting ready to call. Heard him say ball. We don't really get the crowd noise when up here in the press box. We don't get to really hear how adamant parents get when they don't get the strike or get the strike.
But we see it firsthand down there. As this one gets away from the catcher, breaking toward home is Jaden Adams. He'll score easily. And advancing to second there will be John Aiden. And that'll draw a visit from the Abbeville coach, Coach Little.
It's got a little mound visit.
Little
Trying to
mound
settle
visit.
him down.
Yeah, just to settle his troops down. And he's got a young crew, and coach does a very good job with those players over in Abbeville. I've been real impressed when watching them play. Very fundamentally sound baseball team.
Yeah.
and they get better as the season goes along. Abbeville becomes a very tough out for opponents, and you'll see that again in this year's team, I'm sure. And just a matter of getting the young arms settled in up there on the mound, and they'll be fine.
Greenwood's got 7 seniors, some long tenured juniors on this team, and a couple of really good sophomores. So, a lot of experienced baseball players on the Greenwood team. So you kind of expect what you're getting right now with a young Abbeville team. But I'm sure Coach Baker would like to see some production, out of the guys that are supposed to be producing.
Back to live action. This ball is swung on and fouled at the plate. They'll draw the count to 2-1 to Ryan Stone. Ryan's been a little bit of a journeyman in the baseball program. He's, of course, watched Ryan play growing up in Gall League and C-Team, JV, now varsity, and gives you a little bit of flexibility with his arm. He can pitch a little bit, and you can plug him in at the infield and some spots, middle infield, third.
Yep.
So he takes strikes, a 3-1 count. 2 outs, runner on second. Greenwood has scored in the last couple of innings. You haven't put anything up for us yet, though. We hadn't scored this inning? No, Jaden came across.
Jaden Adams.
Yes. As Rhino draws a walk. They'll bring up Andrew Driver. Just completed his 2 innings of work. First pitch, he hammers to center field, but a nice play right at the center fielder. And the Panthers get out of the inning. So good mound visit from the coach. We played 4 from Greenwood High School. This is 7-0 Greenwood.
Welcome back to Greenwood High School. As I got the young still in here, the older still is he needs his Advil or something. I don't know. He went downstairs to get him something for his old body. I'm just playing. How you doing, Lance?
I'm doing good. I got an off day today, so I figured I'd come out here and watch the guys play.
Yeah, it's a good night to be out and about in Greenwood. Rain's coming soon, but get to see Pat Wood here leading off the top of the 5th. Looks like Landon back at first, Andrew at second. Looks like maybe Caden Ford at short. Not sure. Ryan Stone at third now. Elijah Tiller behind the plate. Pat gets a ball here, starts it off. So tell us a little bit, how was your experience of starting your first collegiate game?
It was nerve wracking. But the game got started.
Got a high fly ball. Who's going to get this? Oh, good play. That was a major league fly ball there. Ryan Stone comes up with the catch. But go ahead, Miles.
Yeah, I was nervous, but as the game got going, I kind of settled in. After my first at bat, I saw 6 pitches, drew a walk, and after that, I was pretty much good to go. I was full steam ahead from there.
What's one of the biggest differences between high school and college that you felt any differences?
Yes, at the plate, you're not going to see 84 flat anymore. If you're seeing 84, it's gonna be moving in any way it wants to, and guys are going to keep you on your toes at the plate. You're not going to see much that's flat. A lot of two-seam running fastballs, a lot of breaking stuff, a lot of change-ups.
Pat Wood looks in with the 1-1. There's another ball here, making 2-1. So, crowd noise. Did it feel any louder at Atlanta than it did here? These playoff games compete with that noise.
I think the playoff games compete with the noise there. It was still a good atmosphere. I thought at times it got really loud, but nothing that I hadn't heard out here, especially during the playoff run last year.
Yeah. Does the field play bigger?
Yes, the field plays much bigger.
We get a deep drive. Hammer.
Ball.
Foul ball. Glad that thing was foul. Long strike 2. But a lot of Greenwood support. A lot of people roll in and out of Lander. It's good to have some Greenwood guys there. A few of your travel teammates, I know, getting back in the groove with. Finally, college teammates.
Uh-huh.
We got a full count here on left-handed batter. Pat tries to ring him up with the curveball, leaves it up high. That'll put a runner on with 1 out. Yeah, it's fun to watch, man. It's good to see the Greenwood guys, playing college ball. We'll upload some videos. I've uploaded a few, but we'll get some more of these guys playing college ball and just some good stuff to go check out when you got some idle time. Pat throws over to first. Close play. So I'm going to call you out on this. I saw smoked ball down third the other day when you was playing. I know the exit velo in college goes a little higher on average. Some guys can really hit it, but the average ball can be much higher than in high school. But was that nerves? You think that's all that was?
Part of it was nerves. Part of it was not having that many live reps at third base at the collegiate level yet, because I've learned on the hot corner in the collegiate level, you pretty much have to prep as if everything is going to be hit 100 miles per hour at you. So when that ball was hit, I went immediately to the backhand, and after I read it and realized it wasn't hit as hard as I thought it was hit, and I thought I could shift my body and try to get in front of it, it was too late, and I kind of came up early on the backhand, and it squirmed by.
Scored 2 runs.
Yeah, we take base running very seriously. We do a lot of base running.
When he and I were watching, and I talked to him about that was signature lounge still. You just figured out how to get on base here in Greenwood, whether it was a hit or whatever. And you scored a lot of runs here, and we look forward to seeing some more. But we got a 1-2 count here. Runner moved up on the pass ball. Pat misses outside with all speed, makes it 2-2. 1 out. Top 5, Greenwood leads 7-0. Sure, you'll be back sometime.
Do you miss, as we wait this pitch from Patrick Wood, Greenwood's third pitcher of the evening? glances at the runner at second, comes to the plate, call a strike. But Lounge, you missed pitching. You missed towing the rubber at all?
I do miss pitching. I miss pitching. Pitching is just straight. Well, for me, it was straight adrenaline, and it's not the same when you're standing there for innings without a ball coming at you. That adrenaline kind of wears off. But when you're on the mound, it's pitch after pitch, and you just stay locked in. You just stay in the zone, and I miss that. It makes it a lot easier to stay focused.
Yeah, and you can carry that over to the box too as a hitter, and you got that adrenaline going, and sometimes you got to create that adrenaline out in the field when you're playing a position. As the batter calls time, 7-0 Greenwood. We play in the, I guess it's the top of the fifth. We'll do a couple more innings. I don't know if we're going to do the whole scrimmage tonight, but appreciate everybody being with us. We want your feedback. We're trying a new format for you this year. Curveball misses outside. Patrick Wood and explode. Yeah, I know. As we're looking at the monitor on our computer screen, it is backward. Lowndes just noticed that. Yeah, it tripped me out the first time I looked at it. Patrick Wood delivers. One thing, Patrick, and you faced Patrick a lot last year, Lowndes, or last couple of years, and I remember you talking about just the movement on his balls is very impressive.
Yeah, that's what Patrick will give you. And one thing about him is he's really mature when it comes to commanding the count, and he can flip in a 2-0 curveball, and he can do whatever he wants to do with any pitch at any time.
He run a fastball by you like he just did, swing and a miss.
And that's a product of that high looping curveball that he has. It looks similar coming out when it gets near the plate.
As Patrick gets his sign and delivers. Little, excuse me, tried to hold back, fouled it off. Count stays 2-2. Lowndes, you faced a lot of good pitchers last year. That was a tough region. Quality pitchers up and down our region with Eastside and Greenville. Who was the toughest guy, in your opinion, that you saw?
Brody Fowler is the toughest guy to hit off of for me.
From Eastside?
From Eastside.
I agree.
Former teammate?
Yeah, former teammate. And it's just he has that big frame. He can sit there and dot up 92, and he has that changeup that you can't pick up the spin on. It drops off the table. And for me, his breaking ball is easier to pick up because I'm left-handed. But when he threw me that changeup, I mean, I think when we went to Eastside, I went 1 for 4, and he got me out 3 times on that changeup.
He does a good job keeping you off balance.
Mm-hmm.
Brody is about 6'5". As Patrick struggling a little bit with his control early. And Brody played at Eastside, won a state championship last year, and I believe he was at North Greenville.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is.
sir.
They just went out to Houston and swept D2 team out there, I believe.
They were getting beat today, though.
Oh, they were?
I forgot who they were playing. They were getting beat 6-1 by someone.
And I see where Lander's playing North Greenville this year at Flora Field in March.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
You know,
So that'll be fun as Patrick gets ahead with a strike. Runners at first and second, 7-0 Greenwood. We play. Greenwood using his third pitcher. We've seen Caden Poor. We've seen Andrew Driver. And now Patrick Wood.
0 so far.
Of course, Greenwood, without the services of probably their top 2 starters, I guess we could say, as Matt Murray and Luke Godwin are still participating with the basketball team as the pitch misses. They'll certainly add some depth to what is.
If we can get Pat Wood to throwing like Pat Wood throws, you have Matt, Luke, Caden, Pat, Andrew Driver.
Good pitch there.
Good quality group of pitchers.
That'll end the threat in the top of the 5th. We'll keep it going for a little bit longer for you guys, and we'll just take a quick break. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Your score: Greenwood 7, Abbeville 0. All right, back with you. We go into the, oh gosh, what is it? Bottom of the fifth? Yep. So, what are your initial thoughts? First scrimmage, I know it's really raw and really playing a lot of people, and so far, kind of what we thought. Greenwood with a lot of pop in their lineup. Hadn't really killed it tonight, but
A lot of high count at bats by
Yep.
Green. Not a lot of strikes to really hammer. There's been a
Right.
few, so it's kind of you got to take that into perspective too. But otherwise, the base running blunder, I'm sure will get talked about. And
and it got picked off first, but
otherwise,
so did they.
yes. Quality at bats with 2 strikes. We got a couple walks, full counts, and with 2 strikes, and those will always be a plus.
Here's Bennett Erickson, his second plate appearance. The junior outfielder. I could see a situation where he's used a lot as a pinch runner this year as well for Elijah, as he watches a ball. Andrew Driver. Yep.
Give him crap.
Didn't think about old Andrew. Next pitch is upstairs, and that's we kind of touched on it just a few moments ago. The count goes to
Is that
3-0, we believe, but you look at the Eagles pitching staff, you got to keep Matt Murray healthy. Gotta, I don't think he's pitched an entire season for us since he's been up at the varsity level, as Bennett takes ball 4. So number one priority, keep him healthy, protect his arm, keep him healthy. And then the progression of Luke Godwin as a sophomore. I know he pitched a lot last year as a freshman, and his arm's gotten stronger. As Landon Steele steps in for the 3rd time, he's been the lead in that leadoff spot. He got hit his last at bat in the foot. Almost got hit again.
Wow.
In the
I'm
foot.
not talking, but that was mirror image.
Poor kid, we're going to put him in a boot.
Look, he's looking like
What the world?
right now. Like, is
On-
that the pitch call to me?
On the pitch, Bennett Erickson slides over to second alertly. So he'll take his lead. 1-0 count. Waits the batter. Fastball in there for a strike.
I guess that's how you do it. You low in the dirt,
Yeah.
put your feet. Now your eyes are at a different level. You go outside and high, and you get a strike.
Effective wildness. Erickson takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Nice pitch there. Dove in on the hands of Steele, and he watched it, and he's down in the count 1-2.
I believe they crossed up right there. The catcher makes his way out to the mound. I seen him move his glove.
Make sure they're on the same page. Landon's about grown out of his pants.
How tall is Landon now?
He's about 6'1". He calls for time. New pitcher for the Panthers. Nice looking righty. Justin Oglesby. Here's the pitch. This one's popped up on the infield,
Run it out.
and the shortstop comes over, camps underneath it, and makes the play.
Do you know what he is? Sophomore. Sophomore.
We're told he's a sophomore pitcher. Travis Aiken or TJ Aiken steps in.
You started the year off.
Yeah. See, I used to play some basketball against TJ's dad. Here's the pitch. Call strike. TJ be the first to tell you he didn't have the the type of season he wanted in terms of productivity last season in high school. And he wants to have a big senior year for the Eagles, and the Eagles need his stick. Nice break on the ball in the dirt by Erickson. He'll advance to third, and just a very capable player is TJ, and I think he's primed for a big senior year.
Yeah.
I think he battled some injury early in the year last year, never really could find his rhythm. Still had a good year, just not quite the standard for TJ, I know.
Got to figure out how to get these guys on base. A lot of good speed out of them guys, Landon and him.
Seven nothing, bottom of the fifth. One out, runner on third for the Eagles. Greenwood's made their way through the lineup. This is their third time through. Generous call on the outside part of the plate. That's one that you're like, you know who I am.
Yeah.
You gonna call that?
Yeah, he is a good backside hitter. A lot of power backside.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, kid like TJ normally gets the benefit of the doubt on that outside pitch, and he swings and fouls this one down the first baseline. As the weather's gotten a little chillier, man. I walked downstairs and not quite as comfortable as it was when I walked up.
You lean guys.
Us lean guys, man. It's real. Next pitch is inside to Aiken. It's 62. Still feels pretty good, but it was 70 degrees when I walked up. A little more than an hour or almost 2 hours ago now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one's lifted up to center. TJ got underneath it a little bit. Will it be deep enough to score Erickson? He will try it. Here's the throw, not in time. Good speed on the base pass. So shallow ball to center field is a sac fly if we were scoring it officially. And it gives the Eagles an 8-0 lead in the first scrimmage of the year over the Abbeville Panthers.
Got runs up on the board in every inning but the first.
Brings up Elijah Tiller. This is a big, strong kid. He's just really strong in his upper body and lower body. He watches a fastball. Misses outside. It's really almost not fair him hitting on this field.
Yeah.
It's like hitting at the A field at the Civic Center.
And
next pitch downstairs.
Quick note: I saw his very first home run on
Did you?
Field F or whatever it is down in the little bitty field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there. Evan was practicing with him when he hit his very, very first ever home run.
He's always had the pop in his bat. Next pitch, he holds off a curveball. So the count goes 3-0. Greenwood getting close to their max limit here. Well, let's see. He's asking for help. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Lifted up and out of play. Nothing like seeing live pitching, man. You can come out here and do whatever form of batting practice you want to do, and it's just not quite the same, is it?
That's exactly right.
Here's the next pitch is inside or low. Look like it crossed the catcher up again. So full count to Elijah Tiller. is. Upstairs, ball 4, and he'll trot down to first, and let's see if he'll get a pinch runner. And Elijah was another one of those players last year who missed a lot of the season due to injury.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier with John Aiden. I feel like he'll get some more innings to try and keep Elijah healthy all year. So Evan comes up with 2 outs again.
Evan Avery batting for the 3rd time with the runner takes his lead off first. It is Tiller that stays in there as Evan watches ball 1.
John Aiden must be going in next inning. I guess they've been alternating every inning. I hadn't really thought
think so.
about it.
Oglesby, the pitcher for the Panthers, delivers. Nice pitch. Calls strike, evens the count. Tell a friend about Greenwood Baseball on YouTube this season. Runner on the move, curveball inside to throw down. Did Elijah Tiller swipe a base? Much to the
Wow. That wasn't a hit and run either because Evan didn't swing to help him out.
No, good jump by Elijah.
Unexpected as the crowd went nuts.
Yeah, much to the satisfaction of the home side dugout, located on the 3rd base side here at Greenwood. You a first base or 3rd base guy when it comes to being the home team? Swung through that one. It was Evan Avery. Evens the count at 2-2.
Most, I think when we grew up, it was first base, but
You don't really care, do you? You just
depends
want.
on if I'm the coach in first or third.
This one is downstairs, kicks away from the catcher, and that will allow Tiller to advance up to 3rd base. (7-0) or 8-0. Greenwood's netted one more on the sac fly from TJ Aiken. Here's the payoff pitch. Upstairs, ball 4.
Back-to-back walks. Evan's looking to run.
Yeah, Greenwood's got to be getting close to their limit. We're hitting about 7 guys. Patrick Wood started the scrimmage off with a big 2-run home run in the bottom of the 2nd. And he followed it up. He hit a ball that got underneath the center fielder for a 3-run double. So, yeah, 5 RBIs as he watches ball 1. Runners take their leads. Oglesby to the plate. Called strike. Power
hitter Pat Wood. Let's see what he's got.
See if he can get up. Runner on the move. Call strike.
Oh my goodness.
Catcher meant to throw it to the shortstop who's going to cut across and try to catch a break in Elijah Tiller going home, but he threw it into left center field, and Elijah scores easily, and Evan Avery is over at 3rd now, and it's 9-0 Greenwood. And again, that's why you play the scrimmage, and you got 1st and 3rd situation, which can be challenging in high school at the high school level. And
it looks like they're running multiple catchers, so that's not.
That's right.
Aldrich.
Balls.
Turns on a foul ball.
Yeah, turned on that inside pitch and evens the count at 2-2.
Good base running there. Evan moves all the way over to 3rd. But from the look of the throw, I suspect he was trying to fire it to the shortstop to try to get Elijah off the bag there. And ended up throwing it in the dirt.
Next pitch is downstairs. So another full count. We've seen quite a few, and I think this has to be the 7th batter.
2 outs, 2 score. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6.
This one is fouled off. Good job hanging in there by Patrick Wood.
So we got one more to be said. A lot of full counts tonight.
Yep, as you expect early in the year.
And you young pitching staff,
Mm.
plus early in the year.
Here's a pitch. Fouled off.
Job hanging in there. Spoiling some pitches.
We'll do it again with 2 outs. Runner on third. Couple runs already in here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hammered foul. Not getting anything about Patrick tonight. Did I just jinx him?
Let's hope not. Full count. He ain't trying to walk. He's trying to hit.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off again.
Seeing every pitch he's got.
Yeah, this is what you want to see. Well, we're glad we were able to give you about a couple hours of footage tonight anyway. You want to continue to go deep into the scrimmage, or
Oh, you jinxed him, Jim.
Patrick swings and misses for strike 3, and that'll do it for the Eagles in the 5th. We come back, we'll go to the 6th in this first scrimmage of the year. Greenwood leading Abbeville. Back at Greenwood High School, we go to the top of the 6th, and the new Eagles pitcher is Ryan Stone. Ryan, the junior, right?
Ryan is a junior.
They all run together. It's hard to believe sometimes. I've seen them play so much.
So Ryan, Andrew, Evan, and Reed, and Jackson Aldrich from Abbeville. Those were on my very first T-ball, the first team Evan and them were ever on at 4 or 5 years old. So
Gotcha.
you see them all still playing ball.
Indeed. So we mentioned the Eagles will be back in action next week with a scrimmage against the Lawrence Raiders. That is scheduled for the 18th, and it's going to be at Lawrence.
And
So
I'm told today, it's by Evan, it's a 3-team format.
okay,
Greenwood's going to play Lawrence, then Lawrence 4-inning game.
okay,
Then Lawrence is going to play Hillcrest 4 innings, and then Hillcrest is going to play Greenwood 4 innings.
I like it. First pitch from Ryan Stone misses low and away. I like that format.
Haven't been told that by anybody other than my child, but I assume that he was told that by the coaches at some point.
Next pitch is just upstairs. I like that format. It keeps you kind of dialed in a little bit, and more like as you get closer to the season, it becomes more game-like. I guess this is a regular season game, but Greenwood opens their season against Strom Thurmond on the 21st of February at 5:30 at Lander
That'll
at
be an
Dolney
abbreviated
Park.
game.
That would be what?
An abbreviated game. It won't be a full game. That'll be other teams. Emerald will be.
That's right. That's the little thing we did last year.
Preseason tournament thing.
You're exactly right. I remember doing that. As
Probably be cool. I remember it was cold there last year during that game.
I think they play. I think there's 8 teams, 4 games, and they play 3 inning, little micro 3 inning
Matt
games.
Berry pitched against Emerald.
Yep,
Did a really good job last year.
that's right. Stone walks his first batter. Stone, another one of those guys, much like Caden Poore, who's pitched a good bit and will be dependent upon to come in situations this season as Coach Baker makes his way to the mound. As Ryan has gotten off to a rough start, can't quite find the strike zone.
I think I forgot to stand up for a while. Oh, my God.
We're located in the press box tonight. We won't be here, as we mentioned during the season. We'll be a little bit closer to the field for you, so the view, we hope, will be better. But let's go back and look at that schedule. Greenwood goes and plays in the IP Classic, which is they have the International Paper Plant down there, and that's a traditional tournament, one of the bigger tournaments in the state of South Carolina, preseason tournament. And they go down there the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of March, end of 5th. So that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday type deal. Greenwood opens against Clover on the first night of action, that Thursday night. And then they play Blythewood on Friday at, I think that's a 12:30 game. And then Dutch Fork at 9:30 on Saturday. So you sit around, that's a long layoff.
And I suspect Coach Baker's going to have the boys, they do something, get together or something, that afternoon.
And then based on how you do those 3 games, you're kind of seated out and you play a game on Sunday. But some of the other teams that are in this tournament, TJ, I'll let you kind of go over that lineup. Some really good ball clubs.
Yeah, and they have them listed as upper state, lower state. So upper state, you got Blythewood, Clover, Dutch Fork, and Greenwood. And then the lower state, you have AC Flora, Berkeley, Carolina Forest, and the host, Georgetown, who's always in it.
Next pitch misses, and yeah, you're right. So it's like a lower bracket, upper state bracket, and then the 2 winners play on Sunday for the championship. And pretty cool stuff. A lot of good coverage from Diamond Prospects. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Ryan Stone in there for a strike. Good to see him throw one across the plate there. Probably a little nerves, first scrimmage.
No Somerville this year.
No Somerville.
Had a good game with Somerville the last time we were there.
Oh, we did.
But
Yes.
we won't get to see the 98-mile-an-hour
Messina kid. The 3rd of the Messina. Or is he the 3rd?
I'm not sure.
Baby Messina?
He's baby Messina, I believe.
But not really baby Messina.
Nah, not at all.
He's a grown man.
And you can see his brother Cole, who was the catcher when we were there then. He's a Carolina guy playing for Carolina right now.
This was lifted up and out of play.
Got 2 strikes. Let's see if he can work out of this.
Getting ready for college baseball. I was looking. I know it's 9 days away now for South Carolina and Clemson. And Tristan Smith, one of the top pitchers in the state, the top lefty in the state, is up in Tiger Town for Coach Bakich. And I'm excited to see what they'll do this season as Stone chases the runner back.
New crew up there. Anxious to see how they turn things, from
Big year.
what it was to what it's going to be.
And a big year in Columbia for
It's
South
been a
Carolina.
big year for quite a few years. It just ain't been working out. Full count here.
Greenwood leads in this scrimmage, 9-0. We're playing the top of the 6th. Runner is in motion. This one's popped up. Should be playable for the center fielder. Left fielder is converging. He'll take it.
Oh, wow. Is that
He'll-
Landon?
He'll collect it and throw back to first.
Got him.
Nice double play.
Who is that? Oh, yeah, that's Landon still, Jim.
I think that was Landon still getting some time. And is that Landon or is that Andrew Driver? That
No,
does
that
look
ain't
like
Andrew
Landon.
Driver. I'm pretty sure that's Landon. Andrew's at second.
So nice play by, it looked like a ball the center fielder was going to catch, but
Yeah. Guess what? A good thing we can go back and watch that play.
so good play. And that's Landon's going to be in the outfield some this season and gives you good speed out there. Greenwood should have really good speed across the outfield this year.
And what a way to help your pitcher struggling.
Yep.
Got a runner on, gets a pop up, and then gets the double play. The product of young base runner out there, I'm sure. But
1-0 pitch upstairs.
back somewhere, I don't know if we're at the top or where we at, whatever. Ryan's trying to work quick.
Here's the pitch. Call strike. Nice pitch at the knees.
He's at that Matt Murray pace right now. He's standing on the mound waiting for the umpire to call play.
Like
He's
it.
ready to
Like
go.
it. Greg Maddox, just do your thing. Next pitch is inside, so 3-1 count.
It's a perfect game for Ryan to get in, struggling
Sure.
a little bit, kind of work your way around.
And we should add, there's a good little crowd here, so it's very much like a game situation. This one's skied up toward the left. Steele's there, and he collects it for out number 3. So we played 5.5 from Greenwood. We'll continue along this scrimmage in just a few moments. And I was just saying the crowd here, it simulates a game, like a real game. And we saw some huge crowds here last year with the playoffs and the drive to the playoffs. And, it's really cool to see that. I know we'll see it again this season, but you got a fan base that's really, really eager and anxious for success. They want to get behind this program, and last year they were able to. They got to, play a couple home playoff games, and didn't quite turn out like we wanted, but it was a good dip in the water. And then maybe this year we'll plunge into the water.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping, Jim. Like, we can't say enough about the crowds that showed up here last year. We were fortunate enough to sit out in the middle of it doing the announcing and just listening to all the crowd, and that crowd helped Greenwood baseball, pick up like this video equipment and stuff. We use some of that money to do things like this and try to grow the program. But looking forward to big crowds this year. A lot of kids from the school, a lot of parents, ex-players, and just come out and support.
Yeah, we have an alumni game coming up. When is that game?
I'm not sure.
But you're exactly right. I'm glad you mentioned that. But we got a Greenwood Baseball has a fundraiser going on right now where you can go online and just give.
Yeah, let's talk about the fundraiser.
And that's been hugely successful in the past few years. I know I'm the type, man, if I want to give, I want to support these programs and not just baseball, but it's so much easier for me instead of trying to lug stuff around and buy stuff, and just let me go donate online. And that's what you can do. And if you want to give to the baseball program, check it out. Check out the website. And all these players are sending out stuff on their social media where you can donate money to the Greenwood baseball program. And we put this money to good use.
Yeah, a lot of brand new uniforms this year. Good looking stuff. You're going to see a few different combos and
I like
a lot of equipment to make this field look nice. And we get a foul back here, Jaden Adams, but it helps. Showing up to the ballpark really helps. And this field's grown a lot. They changed the sign up a little bit this year with some new wordage on the sign and changed the center field batter's eye, you'll see this year there's no longer a net up. There's some plastic pieces, slats in the fence there, and it looks pretty good today. Sitting here looking at it from back here, but Greenwood High School has just done a good job. A lot of positive years of sports and stuff to bring fans in and help build all this stuff.
And you're exactly right. A lot of improvements to this facility, and it'll continue to get better. And you have to keep up with everyone else. And we go to places, we go on the road, and like we went to Burns last year. How nice was that facility with the turf and the state-of-the-art lights, the LED lights? And, we still got a lot of improvement we can make here as Adam swings, and he will beat out a swing and miss for a third strike. So
speed comes into play. That was a
yes,
long pass ball, but no shot to even throw that ball.
You got to see a little bit of the young man's speed. So good job by Jaden Adams. And he's just rusty. He played football. He'll round out in form. And I'll bring up Caden Poor. But, we see these facilities that are out there. And, man, it's very impressive. And we're just trying to keep Greenwood on an even playing field with our opponents. And anything you can give will help us and be very appreciative. First pitch is a strike to Caden Poor. I'd like to see this young man have a good year on the mound. I know he's worked extremely hard. I know his parents have worked really hard with him. And Greg's pretty intense guy in himself, right? So,
big supporter of Greenwood.
Yeah, and these guys go off and, do what they have to do to get better. Ooh, throw down to second. It's not in time. I thought that ball almost hit the pitcher's head.
Yeah, that was a low throw. Now, I believe we're back to the starting catcher in now. Oh, he called that a ball?
Yeah. So 2-1 count on Caden Poor. Just missed outside. This kid's grown, man. He's shot up. He's every bit of 6'1".
Yeah.
Pitcher comes set and delivers the 3-0 pitch. This one's hit over the shortstop's head. That'll be a single. Rounding third, coming home would be Jaden Adams. He'll come in safely and making his way down to second. Head first is Caden Poor.
Good base running, Caden.
And an RBI single for the junior. And you're exactly right. Once he saw that cutoff go to the wrong spot, he took advantage of it.
Nice hit there.
Good piece of hitting from the junior.
John Aiden back up.
That puts double digits on the board for the Eagles. Not sure if you can see the scoreboard. I think that pole is in the way, but it's 10-0. And again, we hope to improve. By the time we start for real, we'll have a scoreboard on the screen. We hope for you.
We got to figure out the mechanism that makes that happen and purchase it. But is that a ball?
Yes. Poor with his lead, pitched outside. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Downstairs, 3-0. Here it is. Upstairs, ball 4. Tell you, that's one big difference in the scrimmage tonight is Greenwood pitchers been a little bit more effective with throwing strikes. These young pitchers from Abbeville, they've been plagued by command issues and have walked a lot of Eagles.
Yes.
First pitch to Reed Guy is in there, or actually a ball. Was that a ball or a strike?
Call it ball, didn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Runners take their leads off first and second. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, 2-0 count.
2-0. Good lot of opportunity to run bases tonight for Greenwood.
Yeah.
Work on their craft. Because I'm sure Abbeville's probably moving players around, kind of like Greenwood's been too.
This was
Foul ball.
inside. Or actually, did it hit him or did it hit the knob? I think the umpire thought it hit him, but Reed's like, no, it hit the knob.
Yeah, he wants to hit.
He does. He does. He was going to get a free pass.
Reminds me of that Abbeville had that many years ago where he clearly got hit. And
Yeah.
Did not want to go to first. He's like, I'm not going to first.
Yeah, so Andrew clarifies with the umpire, so he'll stay in there and get the hit. Or I'm sorry, Reed. It's not Andrew Driver. It's Reed Guy at the plate. Next pitch, curveball misses downstairs, so 3-1 count.
Who is this pitcher? Dan Overholt.
Wait, another overhaul?
Another Overholt. Is that younger brother?
No,
No.
not related.
Okay.
It's a lot of
Not
overhauls
related.
over in Abbeville. Here's the pitch. In there, call strike 2.
What is the other kid's name? The other Overholt?
Hunter.
Hunter. Hunter is kin to Tyler Overholt.
Okay.
I asked Anthony this weekend at the Lander game.
Here's the payoff pitch to Reed Guy. Outside ball 4.
The bases loaded.
So
Ryan
good at
Stone.
bat. Bring up Ryan Stone.
There's actually 3 overalls.
Okay.
I got Grady overall, which is the little brother of Hunter.
Okay.
He's somewhere. I don't think he's on the field right now.
As Ryan takes another ball high. Jim really struggling with the command this inning here.
Just young guys. They'll get better. It's good for them to see some live action here. And
Strike.
next pitch is inside.
You cannot duplicate real.
No, you
You
cannot.
can't do it with your teammates. You can't do it. You
And
you
with-
need this.
And with the weather pattern we've had in Greenwood and surrounding areas, you just haven't had as much field time as you would hope for.
And
I would say the
Abbeville's
majority-
videoing, the game similar to us,
Right.
so that they can pick out how to help these kids.
I would say the majority of these swings that these kids are getting so far this season have been inside in a cage. Ooh, nice drive to center field and on the play,
Both runners move.
2 tags. He's poor tags from third. He comes across as the 11th run, making his way over to third. I thought maybe he left a little early, but we'll see.
At third,
John Aiden looked like maybe he left a little early
I
from
was watching
second to third.
second left on time. I wasn't
Did he?
watching
Okay.
third.
So good job of John Aiden. My bad.
Got Andrew Driver. See if he's did a few out this week in practice. If he
Andrew
can't get a hold
Driver.
of one.
The senior. Watches a fastball upstairs. Appreciate you being with us tonight. We're going to leave it running after the 7th. I think they're going to play a couple more, but I think we're going to shut it down after this inning here as driver fouls one off to the backstop.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm on a 12-hour work day right about now, so I'm a little tired.
So 2 more outs, and we'll leave the video running. Just cut the broadcast off and go enjoy the rest of the game.
Coach Little coming out, talk to his youngsters.
A lot of coaching having to be done this year. A lot of young players, you got to keep them motivated, keep them working, getting better by the end of the year.
Pay attention to detail. That's the only way you can get better. Stress the little things to these young guys. Runners on the corners. 1-1 count, 1 away. Here's the pitch. This one's grounded foul by the third baseline. Run the Greenwood dugout. Did OG make a play down there?
I couldn't see.
He's here.
He come by my office today, man. Him and his mom were over getting vet care done on their kitty cat.
Okay.
He walked over to the office, sat down with me.
Pitch is outside. Throw down is not in time. Hits the runner. Scoring from third is John Aiden Helms. So that's Reed Guy. Got plunked by the ball that time. Not sure where it hit him. He was diving head first. Didn't see the ball, as the ball was offline. But a 2-2 count to Andrew Driver. Here's the pitch. Foul back.
Good to see him swinging it.
Yes, sir.
Like to see it. Fouling off them tough pitches.
Here's the pitch.
Oh,
Call
can't
strike.
look at that.
Good pitch there. Is second out.
Oh, it was a good pitch. It was low and outside. Then it actually comes up.
So Mr. Erickson steps in.
Yeah, this is number 7 here. So it's last batter no matter what.
Runner takes the lead. First pitch to Erickson's upstairs. Ball 1.
Swinging this.
Good cut by Erickson that time. It came up empty.
A little off speed there. Good pitch.
Call strike.
Come back with 2 off speeds there, a little curveball.
Greenwood's next scrimmage is scheduled for a week from Saturday, and that will be, I'm told, a 3-way with Hillcrest and Lawrence at Lawrence. I think that one starts pretty early, like 10 o'clock in the morning. Erickson swings and misses for strike 3, and that'll do it for the Eagles in the 7th.
Ball
And
game.
another productive inning for the Eagles. We'll continue to let the video feed flow for you if you want to continue watching the scrimmage. We're going to step out. TJ, it was fun, as
Yeah.
always, man.
Appreciate everybody that listened.
Yep, spread the word, and we'll get ready to do it again, hopefully next Saturday if the weather permits.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, that's going to do it for our broadcast part of the scrimmage, and stick around if you want to watch the rest.